Oh, hey there! Thank you for joining us for our very first parent training episode. Today, we're going to be going back to school to learn our ABCs. Now, these are not the ABCs that you're thinking of. I'm talking about the ABCs of behavior analysis. Just as we used ABCs to learn how to read, the ABCs in behavior analysis will allow us to understand what causes behaviors to occur and also what enables it to continue to happen in the future. Once we understand how to identify these factors, we can begin to make meaningful changes in your child or loved one's life. So let's get started. Let's start with the letter A. In the world of behavior analysis, A stands for antecedent. According to Cooper, Heron, and Heward, an antecedent is an environmental or stimulus change existing or occurring prior to a behavior of interest. That is a big word to digest for some, so let's refer to the antecedent as the trigger. What this is saying is that a behavior only occurs when something in our environment triggers it to occur. I would like for you to think cause and effect. An antecedent can mean many different things in the environment. A few examples are when a child sees their favorite candy on the shelf at a store, a particular teacher they are not fond of, the sight of a playground on the way to school, or being told that they have a dentist appointment. Another great example is when kids see the McDonald's golden arches. They instantly start wanting that Happy Meal. Now with the letter A out of the way, we move on to B. As you might guess, B stands for behavior. First off, what is considered behavior? According to Johnson and Pennypacker, the term behavior is that portion of an organism's interaction with its environment that involves movement of some part of the organism. Simply put, a behavior is anything that can be observed, measured, or counted. This can be when a child darts away from their parents in a crowded parking lot, whenever a child screams or interrupts a parent who is engaging in conversation. Anything that we are able to observe and keep data on should be considered behavior. Another way to know if something is behavior or not is the dead man's test. This is something that all new clinicians in the field are familiar with. Simply put, if a dead man can do it, then it's not behavior. Examples are laying down, being quiet, not responding when spoken to. This is a good tool to use if you are trying to identify if something is a behavior or not. The importance of understanding behavior is that once we are able to identify a certain behavior, we can then work to create a program to change it. Finally, we arrive at the letter C, which stands for consequence. According to Cooper, Heron, and Heward, a consequence is a stimulus change that follows a behavior of interest. Some consequences have the ability to influence future behaviors. Put plainly, a consequence is anything that happens immediately after the behavior ceases. Some examples of this could be when a baby stops crying when he is given a bottle of formula, burning your hand on a hot stove, getting a speeding ticket for driving too fast. Some consequences can reinforce a behavior, which makes it more likely that the same behavior will occur again in the future. Example, baby getting a bottle after crying. While other behaviors act as a punishment to decrease the likelihood of the behavior from occurring in the future. Example, burning your hand or getting a speeding ticket. Here's an example of the ABCs at work. A mother and her child are at the grocery store. They approach the checkout aisle and the child sees a candy stand next to the register. The antecedent. The child then asks her mother for candy. The mother tells the child no, and instantly the child begins to scream and tantrum. The behavior. In the checkout aisle, attracting attention from other shoppers. The mother reluctantly agrees to allow the child to pick one candy from the stand. The child immediately stops throwing a tantrum and picks out a piece of candy. What do you think will happen the next time the mother and the child are in the checkout aisle? That's right, the child will engage in the tantrum to get what she wants.
The mother reinforces the behavior with the candy, the consequence, and will increase the likelihood of the behavior occurring again in the future. We will be getting into reinforcement in a later episode on the way.
Now I have homework for you all. Until we meet again, I want you to rewire your brains over the next 2 weeks and start to identify those ABCs that your child or loved ones engage in. Keep notes, and I guarantee you will start to see a trend develop. And I can't wait to see you all again in our next episode, and have a great day.